Question 1. Which of the following is the most accurate way for an underwriter to assess risk when evaluating a property insurance application? A. By reviewing the applicant's credit score only. B. By considering the property's location, construction type, and the applicant's claims history. C. By looking only at the applicant's business experience. D. By only examining the current market value of the property. Answer B. By considering the property's location, construction type, and the applicant's claims history. Explanation. When underwriting property insurance, underwriters use a comprehensive approach to assess risk. This includes evaluating the property's location, e.g. risk of flooding, hurricanes in Florida, the construction type, e.g. wood versus brick, fire assistance, and the applicant's claims history, e.g. past claims can indicate risk. Property's location can expose it to specific risks, such as natural disasters, and the construction type can indicate how vulnerable it is to damage. The applicant's history of claims gives insight into their potential future risk. Option B is correct because it considers these critical factors in line with industry standards. Option A is incorrect because while credit scores can be useful in assessing financial responsibility, they do not directly assess property risk. Option C is too narrow. Business experience does not fully capture property risk. Option D overlooks factors that go beyond the current market value, such as the condition of the property and its susceptibility to damage. Question 2. Mr. Thomas is applying for homeowners insurance in Florida. He owns a two-story house built in 1985 located in high-risk flood zone. The house has not had any previous claims, but it has an old roof and outdated plumbing. Based on Florida's underwriting guidelines, which of the following would most likely be required for his application to be approved? A. Thorough inspection of the plumbing system and roofing. B. Flood insurance policy for the property. C. Discount for the property's age since it has no previous claims. D. No additional requirements as long as there are no previous claims. Answer A. A thorough inspection of the plumbing system and roofing. Explanation. In Florida, properties in high-risk flood zones face higher underwriting scrutiny, especially with regard to potential water damage and property integrity. Florida's underwriting guidelines mandate that properties with outdated or compromised structures, such as older roofs and plumbing, undergo thorough inspections to assess risk. This inspection helps determine whether the home meets safety and durability standards. The old roof and outdated plumbing are red flags that could contribute to increased claims frequency. Option B is incorrect because while flood insurance is important for homes in high-risk flood zones, this option does not specifically address the underwriting requirements. Option C is incorrect because the age of the property alone does not automatically qualify for discount. Option D is incorrect because, even with no prior claims, the outdated roof and plumbing present potential risks that need to be addressed. Question 3. Which of the following factors is most important when determining the premium for a property insurance policy? A. The property's market value. B. The age of the applicant. C. The property's replacement cost. D. The applicant's profession. Answer C. The property's replacement cost. Explanation. The primary factor in determining the premium for property insurance is the property's replacement cost, which represents the amount needed to rebuild the property in case of damage or loss. Underwriters use the replacement cost as guideline because it directly correlates with the potential payout the insurer would need to cover repairs or rebuilding. Option A is incorrect because the market value of the property may not accurately reflect the cost to rebuild it, especially if the property is located in a high-demand area where market values are inflated. Option B is incorrect because the applicant's age is generally not a primary factor in determining property premiums unless it affects other risk-related factors, such as occupancy or claims history. Option D is incorrect because the applicant's profession does not directly influence the risk of property loss or damage, although it may be relevant in commercial insurance contexts. Question 4. When assessing risk for commercial property insurance, which of the following factors would an underwriter most likely prioritize? A. The number of employees working at the property. B. The building's fire protection systems and security measures. C. The local school district's rating. D. The previous owner's claims history. Answer B. The building's fire protection systems and security measures. Explanation. When underwriting commercial property insurance, underwriters prioritize factors that impact the risk of property loss or damage. The building's fire protection systems, G. Sprinklers, alarms, and security measures. E.g., surveillance locks are crucial because they mitigate the risks of fire, theft, or vandalism. These factors are key to determining the level of risk. The insurer assumes option A is incorrect because while the number of employees is relevant for liability insurance, it doesn't directly influence property risk. Option C is irrelevant because school district ratings do not correlate with the property's risk. Option D is less relevant than current building conditions, as the previous owner's claims history doesn't necessarily reflect the current risk profile. Question 5. Mr. Carter has submitted an application for personal auto insurance in Florida. He has a history of multiple traffic violations but has completed a defensive driving course. What is most likely to happen during the underwriting process? A. His policy will automatically be rejected due to his violations. B. He will receive a premium discount for completing the defensive driving course. C. His application will be approved with no special considerations. D. His driving history will be ignored since he took a course. Answer. B. He will receive a premium discount for completing the defensive driving course. Explanation. Under Florida law, insurance companies often offer discounts to drivers who complete a defensive driving course. This is seen as a way to reduce the risk of future claims by improving the driver's skills. However, the history of multiple traffic violations will still be considered during underwriting, but the course completion can mitigate some of the impact by demonstrating proactive approach to safety. Option A is incorrect because an underwriter does not automatically reject an application solely based on traffic violations. Option C is incorrect because the underwriting process takes multiple factors into account, especially the history of violations. Option D is incorrect because even with course completion, the driving history remains relevant in risk assessment. Question 6. Which of the following underwriting practices is most likely to be required when insuring a property located in a Florida flood zone? A. The property must have a private well. B. The property owner must secure flood insurance through the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP). C. The property must be located at least 10 feet above sea level. D. The property must be inspected by a licensed architect. Answer. B. The property owner must secure flood insurance through the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP). Explanation. In Florida, properties located in flood-prone areas are required to obtain flood insurance, and most insurers will insist on flood coverage being secured through the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP). This is because private flood insurance may not be available or sufficient for properties in high-risk zones. Option A is incorrect because having a private well is not a requirement for properties in flood zones. Option C is incorrect because flood insurance requirements are based on flood risk, not elevation alone. Option D is unnecessary and unrelated to flood zone underwriting requirements. Question 7. Mrs. Lacey has submitted a claim for damage to her home caused by a hurricane. The policy includes windstorm coverage, but her policy includes a 5% hurricane deductible. The damage amounts to $50,000. How much will Mrs. Lacey need to pay out of pocket for the hurricane damage? A. $2,500. B. $5,000. C. $10,000. D. $50,000. Answer. B. $5,000. Explanation. A hurricane deductible is typically calculated as a percentage of the insured value of the property. In this case, the deductible is 5% of the property's insured value, not the damage amount. If the insured value of Mrs. Lacey's home is $100,000, the hurricane deductible would be $5,000, 5% of $100,000. This amount is subtracted from so she would need to cover the first $5,000 of the damage. Option A is incorrect because it does not account for the 5% deductible. Option C is incorrect because 5% of $100,000 is $5,000, not $10,000. Option D is incorrect because only the deductible applies, not the full damage amount. Question 8. Which of the following would most likely increase the premium for a property insurance policy? A. Installing a security system in the building. B. Moving to a low-risk location for natural disasters. C. Having a high credit score. D. Adding a swimming pool to the property. Answer. D. Adding a swimming pool to the property. Explanation. Adding a swimming pool to the property increases the potential risk of liability claims, particularly for accidents or injuries, which in turn can raise the premium. Insurance companies assess the risk posed by such additions and may increase the premium to account for the added liability. Option A is incorrect because installing a security system generally lowers premiums due to the reduced risk of theft or damage. Option B is incorrect because moving to a low-risk area typically lowers premiums due to reduced exposure to natural disasters. Option C is incorrect because a high credit score usually results in lower premiums, not higher ones. Question 9. In Florida, which of the following would an underwriter most likely consider when assessing the risk for a homeowner's insurance policy? A. The property's historic value. B. The homeowner's age and marital status. C. The presence of swimming pool. D. The property's square footage. Answer C. The presence of a swimming pool. Explanation. The presence of a swimming pool increases the risk of liability claims and may raise the homeowner's insurance premium. Insurance companies assess how likely it is for accidents or injuries to occur around a pool, which can result in higher costs for coverage. Option A is incorrect because the historical value of a property may influence its market value, but it is less relevant for determining risk in terms of insurance coverage. Option B is incorrect because while certain demographic factors like age may influence other types of insurance, e.g. life insurance, they are generally less significant for homeowners insurance. Option D is incorrect because square footage alone does not directly correlate to increased risk in homeowners insurance. Question 10. Mr. Davis is applying for commercial property insurance for a small retail store. The store has an old heating system and is located in an area with frequent electrical outages. What is most likely to happen during the underwriting process? A. The insurance company will require Mr. Davis to upgrade the heating system. B. Mr. Davis will receive a premium discount due to the store's location. C. The insurance company will not provide coverage because of the outdated heating system. D. The insurance company will assess the risk based on the business profitability. Answer A. The insurance company will require Mr. Davis to upgrade the heating system. Explanation. The underwriter will likely require Mr. Davis to upgrade the heating system because older heating systems pose an increased risk of fire or malfunction. Insurance companies prioritize risk mitigation and may mandate updates or improvements to high-risk features like old heating systems to reduce potential claims. Option B is incorrect because the frequent electrical outages are a potential risk, not a factor for a premium discount. Option C is unlikely because the insurer would typically suggest improvements, not outright deny coverage. Option D is incorrect because a business's profitability is not directly relevant to the physical risk assessment of the property. Question 11. Which of the following factors would most likely lead to a denial of an insurance application for a commercial building in Florida? A. The building is in a high-risk flood zone. B. The building is located in a metropolitan area. C. The building has a history of minor claims. D. The building has fire alarms and sprinklers installed. Answer A. The building is in a high-risk flood zone. Explanation. In Florida, properties located in high-risk flood zones often face stricter underwriting requirements. If the building is in a designated flood zone and does not have adequate flood insurance, the insurer may deny the application or require flood coverage to be purchased through the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP). Flood risk significantly impacts underwriting decisions due to the potential large claims. Option B is incorrect because being in a metropolitan area does not inherently increase risk compared to rural areas. Option C is incorrect because a history of minor claims may result in higher premiums, but not automatic denial. Option D is incorrect because fire alarms and sprinklers are positive features that reduce risk and may lower premiums. Question 12. Mr. Hawkins operates a retail store in Florida and wants to purchase insurance for his business. Which of the following would most likely increase his premium for business property insurance? A. Installing security cameras around the store. B. Moving to a safer neighborhood. C. Adding an automatic fire suppression system. D. Storing combustible materials in the building. Answer D. Storing combustible materials in the building. Explanation. Storing combustible materials increases the risk of fire, which would likely result in a higher premium for property insurance. Underwriters assess the types of goods and materials stored in a business to determine the overall fire risk. High-risk storage can result in a significantly increased premium or even the need for specialized coverage. Option A is incorrect because security cameras typically lower premiums by reducing the risk of theft. Option B is incorrect because moving to a safer neighborhood usually reduces the overall risk and premium. Option C is incorrect because an automatic fire suppression system reduces risk and would likely lead to a low premium. Question 13. Which of the following is an example of moral hazard in insurance underwriting? A. A business with a history of frequent claims submits a new application. B. A person who recently purchased a life insurance policy begins to engage in risky activities. C. A property in a high-risk flood zone receives flood insurance at standard rates. D. A homeowner installs security systems in their house. Answer B. A person who recently purchased a life insurance policy begins to engage in risky activities. Explanation: moral hazard refers to situations where the behavior of the insured changes after obtaining insurance, often due to the feeling of being protected. In this case, the individual engages in risky activities after purchasing life insurance, knowing that the policy would cover any potential losses or damages. This behavior increases the insurer's risk. Option A is incorrect because frequent claims are an indicator of moral hazard, but it's a separate issue related to underwriting risk, not the direct behavior change after obtaining coverage. Option C is incorrect because providing flood insurance in high-risk areas is based on regulatory requirements, not a change in behavior. Option D is incorrect because installing security systems reduces risk, not increases it. Question 14. Which of the following would likely be considered an adverse selection risk in underwriting? A. A healthy individual applying for life insurance at a young age. B. An individual with a history of smoking applying for health insurance. C. A property owner insuring a recently built home. D. A business owner applying for insurance for a newly constructed building. Answer B. An individual with a history of smoking applying for health insurance. Explanation: adverse selection occurs when individuals with higher than average risks are more likely to purchase insurance, which can lead to higher than expected claims for the insurer. In this case, a smoker applying for health insurance represents a higher health risk, which increases the likelihood of claims being made. Option A is incorrect because a healthy individual is at low risk and would not be considered adverse selection. Option C is incorrect because a newly built home typically has lower risks than an older property, making it less likely to be an adverse selection. Option D is incorrect because insuring a newly constructed building typically does not present any adverse selection issues. Question 15. Which of the following is the most likely reason an underwriter would reject a life insurance application? A. The applicant has a history of hypertension and diabetes. B. The applicant has been employed for less than 2 years. C. The applicant's age exceeds the insurer's age limits. D. The applicant is currently unemployed but has stable income. Answer A. The applicant has a history of hypertension and diabetes. Explanation: underwriters assess an applicant's health history to evaluate risk. A history of hypertension and diabetes indicates high health risks which would lead to rejection or higher premiums for life insurance. These conditions can significantly impact life expectancy, making the applicant a higher risk. Option B is incorrect because employment history typically does not impact life insurance applications unless the occupation is high risk. Option C is incorrect because insurers often have age limits, but this is typically a higher risk category for life insurance policies rather than an automatic rejection. Option D is incorrect because unemployment alone, particularly with a stable income, is not an immediate reason for rejection. Question 16 scenario. Mr. Collins is applying for commercial property insurance for his small business located in a hurricane-prone area of Florida. His property is older and has some wear and tear, but he has recently upgraded the roof and installed hurricane shutters. What is the most likely outcome during the underwriting process? A. The insurer will reject the application due to the age of the property. B. The insurer will approve the application with a reduced premium due to the upgrades. C. The insurer will approve the application but require additional flood insurance. D. The insurer will increase the premium due to the hurricane risk but ignore the property's condition. Answer B. The insurer will approve the application with a reduced premium due to the upgrades. Explanation: in hurricane-prone areas, insurers assess both the location and the protective measures taken by the property owner. Since Mr. Collins has made proactive upgrades, such as installing hurricane shutters and upgrading the roof, this will reduce the risk of hurricane damage, leading to a reduced premium. The insurer will likely offer a policy at a favorable rate due to these mitigation efforts. Option A is incorrect because the upgrades are likely to improve the risk profile, and the age of the property alone may not be grounds for rejection. Option C is incorrect because while flood insurance may be a consideration, it's not automatically required unless the property is located in designated flood zone. Option D is incorrect because the upgrades would likely mitigate the risk, leading to lower premium rather than an increased one. Question 17. In Florida, which of the following is a requirement for an insurance company when underwriting a commercial property insurance policy? A. The property must be at least 50% owner-occupied. B. The business must have been operating for a minimum of 5 years. C. The property must meet the insurer's fire protection standards. D. The business must have no employees to qualify for coverage. Answer: C. The property must meet the insurer's fire protection standards. Explanation: underwriters typically require commercial properties to meet certain safety standards, including fire protection measures such as alarms, sprinklers, and fire exits. This is to mitigate the risk of fire damage and reduce the potential for large claims. Option A is incorrect because insurance policies may be offered regardless of owner occupancy. Option B is incorrect because business's operational history is not typically a requirement for commercial property insurance. Option D is incorrect because having employees does not disqualify business from being insured. Question 18. Which of the following would likely result in an increase in a homeowner's insurance premium? A. Installing security system. B. Adding wood-burning stove. C. Moving to low-crime neighborhood. D. Replacing the roof with more durable material. Answer: B. Adding a wood-burning stove. Explanation: a wood-burning stove increases the risk of fire, which may lead to an increase in the homeowner's insurance premium. Insurers consider the additional risk posed by heating sources, especially those that are less regulated or more prone to malfunction. Option A is incorrect because installing a security system usually lowers premiums by reducing the risk of theft. Option C is incorrect because moving to a safer neighborhood typically reduces the premium. Option D is incorrect because replacing the roof with a more durable material reduces the risk of damage, which could lower the premium. Question 19. Which of the following is a primary consideration when determining the appropriate coverage for a property insurance policy? A. The square footage of the property. B. The property's historical significance. C. The distance to the nearest fire station. D. The property owner's credit score. Answer: C. The distance to the nearest fire station. Explanation: the distance to the nearest fire station directly impacts the risk of fire damage to the property. The closer the property is to a fire station, the faster emergency services can respond, reducing the potential damage. Underwriters will often consider this when determining the level of coverage and premium. Option A is incorrect because while square footage affects the overall cost to rebuild, it is not the primary factor in risk assessment. Option B is incorrect because historical significance does not directly affect risk. Option D is incorrect because a property owner's credit score is more relevant for underwriting personal lines insurance like auto or life insurance rather than property coverage. Question 20. Mr. Ortiz owns a condominium in a coastal Florida area. He is applying for property insurance. Which of the following factors will have the greatest impact on his premium? A. The presence of a swimming pool. B. The age and condition of the property. C. The proximity to the ocean and potential storm surge. D. The number of rooms in the property. Answer: C. The proximity to the ocean and potential storm surge. Explanation: properties located near the ocean are at higher risk of damage from hurricanes, storm surges, and flooding, which significantly impact the premium. Insurers assess the location of the property relative to coastal areas to determine the level of risk and adjust the premium accordingly. Option A is incorrect because while the swimming pool increases liability risk, it is not the greatest factor for a coastal property. Option B is incorrect because although the age and condition of the property matter, the location and exposure to storm risks are typically more impactful for coastal properties. Option D is incorrect because the number of rooms does not directly affect the premium in this context. Question 21. Which of the following is a key factor that an underwriter would consider when assessing the risk of insuring a commercial property? A. The number of employees in the business. B. The business's location in relation to major transportation routes. C. The size of the business's customer base. D. The amount of advertising the business does. Answer: B. The business's location in relation to major transportation routes. Explanation: an underwriter assesses the location of a business to understand the risk factors related to transportation routes, particularly regarding the ease of access for emergency responders and the likelihood of damage from traffic or transportation-related accidents. The proximity to highways or other infrastructure can influence the policy's premium. Option A is incorrect because the number of employees does not directly affect the risk of insuring the property. Option C is incorrect because the size of the customer base does not impact the physical property's risk. Option D is incorrect because advertising affects business operations but not directly related to the insurance risk. Question 22. What is the purpose of a coinsurance clause in a commercial property insurance policy? A. To ensure the policyholder receives the full amount of the policy limits. B. To encourage the policyholder to carry adequate insurance coverage. C. To provide a discount for policyholders who carry less coverage. D. To limit coverage for natural disasters. Answer: B. To encourage the policyholder to carry adequate insurance coverage. Explanation: the coinsurance clause in a commercial property policy is designed to encourage the policyholder to maintain coverage equal to a certain percentage of the property's value, typically 80%, 90%, or 100%. If the policyholder fails to carry the required amount of insurance, they may face penalty in the event of claim. Option A is incorrect because the coinsurance clause doesn't guarantee the full amount of the policy limit unless the required coverage is met. Option C is incorrect because coinsurance generally penalizes the policyholder if the coverage is insufficient. Option D is incorrect because the coinsurance clause doesn't specifically limit coverage for natural disasters. Question 23 scenario. A homeowner in Florida has recently installed hurricane shutters and a reinforced roof. The insurer offers a premium discount for these improvements. Which of the following best describes this type of premium adjustment? A. It is an underwriting discount for risk mitigation. B. It is a government-mandated premium reduction. C. It is a premium increase due to increased coverage. D. It is a penalty for the homeowner's previous claims history. Answer A. It is an underwriting discount for risk mitigation. Explanation: insurance companies often offer premium discounts as part of underwriting adjustments when the homeowner has made risk-reducing improvements, such as installing hurricane shutters and reinforcing the roof. These improvements lower the insurer's overall risk and make the property safer to insure. Option B is incorrect because this discount is based on underwriting, not a government mandate. Option C is incorrect because it is not an increase in coverage but a discount for reducing risk. Option D is incorrect because this discount is unrelated to the homeowner's claims history. Question 24. Which of the following is a valid reason for an insurance company to cancel a homeowner's policy in Florida? A. The homeowner refuses to install security system. B. The homeowner installs pool without informing the insurer. C. The homeowner increases their coverage limits. D. The homeowner's property is located in low-risk area. Answer: B. The homeowner installs a pool without informing the insurer. Explanation: insurance policies can be cancelled if a homeowner makes significant changes to the property, such as installing a pool without notifying the insurer. This could increase the risk of liability, and failure to disclose such changes can result in policy cancellation. Option A is incorrect because although the installation of a security system may reduce the risk, refusing to install one is not grounds for cancellation. Option C is incorrect because increasing coverage limits does not justify policy cancellation. Option D is incorrect because living in a low-risk area is typically an advantage for the policyholder and would not be grounds for cancellation. Question 25. In the context of property insurance, which of the following would be considered an actual cash value or CEF policy? A. A policy that reimburses the full cost of replacing a damaged item with a new one. B. A policy that reimburses the insured for the cost of the damaged property minus depreciation. C. A policy that reimburses the insured for the replacement cost without deducting depreciation. D. A policy that covers only fire damage and excludes other types of damage. Answer: B. A policy that reimburses the insured for the cost of the damaged property minus depreciation. Explanation. Actual cash value is a method of calculating reimbursement based on the replacement cost of the damaged property minus depreciation. This means the insurer will pay for the current value of the property, not the amount it costs to replace the item. Option A is incorrect because this describes a replacement cost policy, not a CV. Option C is incorrect because this is a replacement cost policy, not a CV. Option D is incorrect because the coverage for damage would not be limited to fire damage in an CV policy. Question 26 scenario. A business owner in Florida operates a restaurant and is applying for property insurance. They have recently completed a major renovation, including installing a fire suppression system. What is the most likely impact on their premium? A. The premium will increase due to the increased value of the property. B. The premium will decrease due to the reduced fire risk from the suppression system. C. The premium will remain unchanged because the renovation is unrelated to risk. D. The premium will increase due to the business's expanded operations. Answer. B. The premium will decrease due to the reduced fire risk from the suppression system. Explanation. Fire suppression systems reduce the risk of extensive fire damage, and as a result, insurers typically offer a discount on premiums for properties that have these safety features. The mitigation of fire risk helps lower the overall cost of insurance. Option A is incorrect because while the property value may increase, the fire suppression system lowers the risk and could lead to a lower premium. Option C is incorrect because the renovation directly impacts the risk level. Option D is incorrect because the expansion of operations does not necessarily affect the premium in this case. Question 27. Which of the following best describes the difference between a named peril and an all-risk insurance policy? A. A named peril policy covers only the specific risks listed in the policy, while an all-risk policy covers all risks except those specifically excluded. B. A named peril policy covers all risks except those specifically excluded, while an all-risk policy covers only the specific risks listed in the policy. C. A named peril policy covers only certain types of properties, while an all-risk policy covers all types of properties. D. A peril policy provides a higher level of coverage than an all-risk policy. Answer A. A named peril policy covers only the specific risks listed in the policy, while an all-risk policy covers all risks except those specifically excluded. Explanation. A named peril policy provides coverage only for the risks explicitly listed in the policy, e.g., fire, theft, vandalism, while an all-risk policy covers all risks except those that are specifically excluded, e.g., earthquakes, floods. All-risk policies provide broader coverage than named peril policies. Option B is incorrect because it reverses the definitions of the policies. Option C is incorrect because the difference between the policies is based on coverage types, not property types. Option D is incorrect because named peril policies provide more limited coverage than all-risk policies. Question 28. Which of the following is a common exclusion in a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Theft of personal property by an insured person. B. Fire damage to a detached garage. C. Liability for injuries caused by a pet. D. Vandalism of a vacant property. Answer A. Theft of personal property by an insured person. Explanation. Homeowners' policies commonly exclude coverage for theft by the policyholder or members of their household. This is known as an intentional act exclusion, as insurers do not want to cover fraudulent or dishonest actions. Option B is incorrect because fire damage to a detached garage is generally covered under a standard homeowner's policy. Option C is incorrect because liability for pet injuries is usually covered under liability provisions in homeowners' insurance policies. Option D is incorrect because vandalism of a vacant property is often excluded but may be covered under a special endorsement. Question 29. Which of the following actions would most likely lead to a higher premium for a business liability insurance policy? A. The business has implemented additional safety measures and employee training. B. The business has experienced several recent claims due to employee negligence. C. The business has expanded to a new, safer location. D. The business has a lower annual revenue than in previous years. Answer B. The business has experienced several recent claims due to employee negligence. Explanation. Recent claims, especially those involving negligence, indicate higher future risk, which would likely result in a higher premium for business liability insurance. Insurers adjust premiums based on past claims history as an indicator of future risk. Option A is incorrect because additional safety measures and training typically reduce risk, lowering the premium. Option C is incorrect because moving to a safer location would likely reduce the premium. Option D is incorrect because lower revenue may reduce exposure but doesn't directly affect the premium if liability risk remains high. Question 30. Which of the following best describes the role of an insurance adjuster? A. To approve claims based on the policyholder's request. B. To determine the amount of compensation to be paid to the insured following loss. C. To offer legal advice to the policyholder. D. To sell insurance policies to potential customers. Answer B. To determine the amount of compensation to be paid to the insured following a loss. Explanation. An insurance adjuster's primary responsibility is to assess the damage or loss, investigate the claim, and determine how much compensation the policyholder is entitled to based on the terms of the policy. They may inspect the damage, gather evidence, and make recommendations to the insurance company. Option A is incorrect because adjusters do not approve claims. They assess the damages and determine the compensation. Option C is incorrect because adjusters are not legal advisors and they focus on evaluating claims. Option D is incorrect because selling insurance policies is the role of an agent, not an adjuster.